Which way to the gym? Oh, to the right? Okay, thanks.
You're a free agent this offseason. Make the Laker faithful feel a little bit better about that? Do you expect to do that?
Nobody's talking about that right now, Ray. No,
I'm gonna enjoy this championship, and that's what I have an agent for. So
we're gonna enjoy this. Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
we don't know. You know, we
don't know nothing.
Came here, got it done, and like I say, we'll see.
That smile might tell me something. But I can switch from your future to your future, Mr. James.
No, he's not retired.
Well, I was going to say, you called him Anthony, you called him old during the trophy ceremony. You're turning 36 in just a couple months. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played in a Laker uniform when he was 40 years old. Is that your future?
I don't know what my future holds. The only thing I can do is control the present. Can't worry about yesterday, and the future is a mystery, so you don't know. I can control what's going on right now, and I'm happy to be a Laker. I'm happy to be a champion. And that's all I can say.
What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yes, as you've heard by now, the Lakers won their 17th NBA championship last night against the Miami Heat. It's a pretty easy victory. Got up at one point by nearly 40 points at times, but I don't know why the Heat kind of just went down, other than the injuries, I guess, but they did have a couple of their guys back that were healthy. It looked okay going into the first quarter and a half, and then all of a sudden the Lakers just stepped on a different pedal and could not miss, scoring a bunch of layups and getting and ones, and LeBron going off from three again. But yeah, it's just great to see if you're a Laker fan. Kind of wished it happened on Friday, had more time to celebrate over the weekend, but kind of understood why the Miami Heat won. But yeah, overall, so great. At times, I've heard people say this a lot, that it doesn't really feel like an NBA win or NBA championship, but I mean, in my head as a basketball fan, it still is, because they had to go through so much crap just to even get through the bubble, and then stay down there for months on end if you're going to be the champion in isolation. And yeah, eventually you had your family down there, but it still took a while for that to happen, and just great what they did. I mean, it even said there's an article saying that the Lakers have won a championship at the beginning of each decade in the new millennia, which is pretty awesome. Obviously, in the beginning of the 2000s, Kobe and Shaq, and then 2010 with Kobe and Pau Gasol, and now 2020 with LeBron and AD. I know a lot of Boston Celtics fans will say, well, this is actually your 12th championship because your 5 with the Minneapolis Lakers don't count. But I don't know, where have the Celtics been the past 20 to 30 years? I've only seen one NBA championship and then maybe 2 NBA Finals appearances. So I don't know, if you even count the last 30 years, I think the Lakers kicked the Boston Celtics ass, in my opinion. But yes, it's great to see. Definitely very happy. Even one of the guys, obviously ex-Duke player, won his second championship, Quinn Cook, which I'm happy for him. But they did leave him. The bus left without him, which I don't know how that happened. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. A lot of stuff going on and a lot of things being said and heard. But I won't get into the GOAT conversation because I don't have that much experience. I didn't really watch Michael Jordan live as much as everybody else, so I won't get into that yet. But yeah, there's a lot of subliminal signs, like when AD was getting interviewed at the presentation, LeBron going back to back on him, when they're talking about how much they can build and if they can build a dynasty and everything like that. And he gave a subtle hint doing the back to back, trying to go as champions, which is what even Vegas has them as the title favorites going into 2021. So of course pressure's going to be high. Going to see if Anthony Davis will come back, if LeBron chooses his option or not, but I don't know. It's kind of dumb if they don't come back. Definitely have a good thing going for them. Just put a couple good other solid players around them. Whether it's, I know it can't be the same team. They're gonna have to find some other guys, but yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully they can do a lot of stuff. And excuse me. I mean, they're even, the other article was saying like trying to compare this run. I mean, it was a crazy run because you had to go through the West, of course, and then you had to play the hot team and the Portland Trailblazers in the first round. You beat them 4-1 in 5 games. Then you play Houston, who was actually starting to get better, starting to get healthier, even with Russell Westbrook, and then you still beat them in 5 games. And then Denver is obviously the hottest team. It would have been maybe tougher to try to get past the Celtics, but Denver was definitely the hottest team. But you kind of already knew they were going to go down just because of how many games they played. And once again, the Lakers win in 5, and then the Lakers win the title in 6. But I can't really accept the fact that the Heat lost based off the fact that they were tired and using up all this energy, when really their title run went pretty easy for them. They swept the first series. That's already one less game than the Lakers. Then they beat Milwaukee in 5 games, so that's pretty similar. And then yeah, they had to play the Celtics 6 games, but I mean, it's really nothing too crazy. Like, never had to go to game 7. So yeah, win's a win. Definitely this one counts, people, and it definitely counts as a 17th championship, so definitely happy with that. Hopefully they could get things going back again next year, and yeah, hopefully we can celebrate in a parade actually at some point, whether it's this championship or next year's championship. Yeah, it's like to see one of the better offensive linemen out of USC, Tyron Smith of the Cowboys, go down, but he does play for the Cowboys, so good luck. And then yes, USC football did get a couple commits this last week. In tight end, the 4-star Michael Trigg. He's really going to be like the next Drake London for USC. He's going to play tight end for the football team and then also play on the basketball team as well once the football season is over. So that's the main reason why he wanted to go to USC, because they were going to be able to let him play both. So it's good to get some talent out of Florida. And then Josh Moore, a wide receiver who was committed to Stanford, but the USC was able to flip him and commit to USC, which is cool. But I think Stanford wanted him more as a linebacker, but USC said they would take him as either one, but mostly as a receiver, because that's the position he would rather play and that he's really good at too. So once again, USC piling up on receivers, but it's an offense that you throw a lot in, so might as well just get as many talented guys as they can, and especially keep guys away from some of your rivals in your conference, which helps out a lot as well. And Justin Herbert, for a quarterback for the Chargers, the rookie, was named a starter for the rest of the season by a head coach. I just think because Tyrod Taylor, his weird injury of the punctured lung, is not going to be able to come back healthy. So I wonder if they're going to sign up another quarterback. They usually keep 3. I know Easton Stick is behind Herbert, but we'll see if they sign another guy as well. And then they did officially place Austin Eckler on the injured reserve. Don't know why it took a couple weeks, other than maybe he was either looking for a second opinion or they just figured they might as well just do it now. So it could be the 4 weeks. So now it's like about 5 weeks in total, and they said it was going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. So kind of makes sense, but yeah, they did actually sign a running back in Kalen Ballage, who was recently with the Dolphins and the Jets, but he's an okay running back. He had one great game in college against a crappy Texas Tech defense. While he was at Arizona State, he had 7 touchdowns himself, which was an amazing performance and why he got drafted, I'm sure, but his talent never showed up. So we'll see if he can add depth. They only signed him to the practice squad, so at least he's getting another opportunity. It's good for him. And I've been saying this a lot, but they just barely kind of started doing this last Friday, where they had Reggie Bush first time pretty much being on campus officially. And I think he was more there because he was kind of helping with recruiting, because this last weekend they did have a lot of top recruits come out. So I'm pretty sure that's why that article was asking that. But I think whether you have him involved in recruiting or make him a running backs coach, but definitely part of recruiting as a main focus, I think he could definitely help out the program, because he definitely wants to. So let the man do it. He's one of the better, if not greatest, college football players of all time, and a great USC player. So I think it's a win-win situation for everyone. And the Anaheim Ducks made a couple of moves once free agency started. They did sign Kevin Shattenkirk. He's a guy who they tried to get last year, but he decided to sign a one-year deal with Tampa Bay. Worked out for him because he won, and then now he has a 3-year deal worth, I think, a little over $11 million with the Ducks. So good to have him on the team. Hopefully he still has something in him to teach these guys and get them back into the playoffs and hopefully to the finals. They also did re-sign, it's like the third time they have signed this guy, Derek Grant. I don't know how good he is, just because they traded him away late in the season last year, and then now he's back on the team, which is crazy. But yeah, I guess we'll see how this time turns around, or this time goes around. And USC wide receiver Munir McClain was recently suspended from the team last week. Haven't really heard any update. Of course, Clay Helton just says it's an in-team kind of deal, so never really gives any clues to what's going on, but maybe we'll hear about it soon enough. He seemed like he's okay. He hardly played last year, but he has some talent, so hopefully he does end up staying on the team. But you never know. Like I mentioned before, they are signing a lot more pass catchers nowadays, so it just might be time to move on too. And sadly, the Trojans are going to be dealing with some more injuries to their linebacker. It just sucks, because Jordan Iosefa, he missed out last year. He was playing, but then he got an injury, he had to have surgery, so he was going to come back, but now it looks like he has to have another surgery to clean up some stuff in that knee. So it's the only positive thing about this football season is that all these guys are basically playing on a free year. So whether they already graduated or are a senior or even a 5th-year senior, they can still come back if they want to build up whatever strength or their position in the NFL draft or anything like that to get more reps. So it's a tough situation for him. He most likely will come back, but we'll find out more about that after the season, I think. Then a top linebacker that I've been looking forward to playing ever since I saw him in high school. It's just been impossible for him to stay healthy. I don't get it. And now it's another different type of injury, not something he's been dealing with. But linebacker Solomon Tuliapapu, for some reason, has something he's dealing with again, which sucks. But hopefully he can get healthy. It does thin out USC's linebacker core, but that's the reason they're USC. They always have some talented guys somewhere else, so hopefully they'll be able to get back on track with that. And one of the more recent USC basketball players, Nick Vukovic, he recently signed with a team in China, so tough that he won't be playing in the NBA, but you gotta get that money where you're gonna get it, so he's gonna get that money soon and then hopefully make his way into the NBA is what we could hope for USC fans. And to finish off this video, Duke basketball recently made the top 4 for a very talented 5-star player out of Mount Verde Academy, which is a really good place. Most recently, Ben Simmons came out of there, obviously pretty talented. But Caleb Houston, 5-star guy, it's only important to me I talk about him because Duke definitely has to try to keep him away from Virginia, in my opinion, but he does look pretty talented, so hopefully he winds up on Duke, but if not Duke, it better not be Virginia, because it might come back to haunt them, in my opinion. Then the Ducks quickly made a trade with the Senators, I believe it was. They traded a defensive player, Eric Goodbranson. Never really heard of him. because I didn't really watch the Ducks that much this year, but I don't really know how good he is, but they still got a draft pick back, so we'll see how that goes with them. Then a couple of USC football players, at least 3, have decided to not play this year due to the COVID BS, but as long as they feel safe, it's all good, so no problem with them not going. But defensive lineman Jacob Lichtenstein will opt out, so will 2 offensive linemen Frank Martin and Bernard Shermer. All 3 of those guys actually aren't starters, that's why I think it's okay that they rather focus on their health than just chance it. But yeah, good luck to them, and they definitely plan to return next year is what I've read, so hopefully that does happen. And then last bit of news, so yeah, good luck to the Dodgers in the NLCS against the Atlanta Braves. It's gonna be a pretty tough team. Braves are pretty talented and have a talented guy in Ronald Acuna Jr. and Freddie Freeman, a couple of those guys. So yeah, it should be a great matchup. Hopefully they make it back to the World Series and definitely kick everybody's asses along the way. So sending all the best to my Dodger fans out there, Dodger family. And yeah, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Fight on. Let's go Lakers.